A shooting in a Calgary neighborhood. Police explain their involvement. An unusual by-election.
If he doesn't do as well, because it's such a strong Conservative base here, then they might be looking at a leadership review.
Pierre Poilievre faces more than 200 competitors as he hopes to return to the House of Commons. And Air Canada flight attendants say no, defying Ottawa's back-to-work order.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Ian White.
Good afternoon. Police shot a man at a busy intersection in the southwest Calgary community of Yorkville after an incident on a city bus this afternoon. Jacqueline Wilson joins us from the crime scene at Sheriff King Street at 194th Avenue. So, Jackie, what do we know so far?
Ian, we are waiting any moment now to get an update from the deputy police chief. That could be happening any minute. But for now, what we know is that there is a crime scene tape set up behind me. As you can see, it's just south of that 194th Avenue and Sheriff King Street location you were mentioning. Inside of that police tape, you can see there is a city bus right there. We do know this incident involves this city bus as well. Over my shoulder, there is a group of belongings there, a bag. We actually saw just minutes ago investigators putting a large knife inside of an evidence bag. So we'll have to see how that comes into play here. But for right now, what we know is that about 1 o'clock, police came to this scene. We know that this person was on a city bus and something happened on it where police ended up shooting a man. What we know about their condition is that they're in non-life-threatening condition and they have been sent to hospital. But this is a very dynamic situation right now, Ian. We're just about to learn some more of the details about what led up to this and exactly what happened that ended up police shooting this individual. So we'll get updates on that in just a few moments. But for now, portions of the intersection are set off. People can still travel in almost all directions, just except for northbound King Sheriff Avenues. We'll have more at the 6 o'clock news. Ian?
A family canoe trip has turned tragic in Kananaskis. One man is dead and another is presumed drowned after the boat capsized over the weekend. Jordan Canigan is at Barrier Lake with more, and Jordan, search crews spent hours there again today.
In Alberta, RCMP and conservation officers spending all day here at Barrier Lake in Kananaskis searching for a man who is presumed to have drowned here on Saturday. Multiple boats were part of the search Monday as they inspected near the shore, and the underwater search team used sonar through the middle of the lake. Mounties say 3 people were on the canoe Saturday when it flipped over. A 60-year-old man was found dead, while a 56-year-old woman was rescued and sent to hospital with hypothermia. A 30-year-old man still has not been found. RCMP now saying the 30-year-old is from Calgary. The other 2 are his parents who were visiting from China.
So late afternoon this past Saturday, 3 adults were canoeing here on Barrier Lake in Kananaskis. Strong winds came up, causing large waves, which unfortunately capsized the canoe.
But the investigation is continuing, and RCMP are only saying this is a tragic incident and no foul play is suspected. Now, if the man's body is not recovered immediately, RCMP say they're just taking the investigation day by day. They wouldn't say exactly how long they will continue the search for. Ian?
Appreciate it. Thank you, Jordan. Crash this afternoon on Highway 1 east of Calgary led to a massive vehicle fire. RCMP say a semi collided with an SUV at around 2:30 this afternoon. The resulting fire blanketed the scene in thick smoke. Firefighters, Mounties, and paramedics all responded to the crash. There's no word yet on injuries. It's by-election day in the central Alberta riding of Battle River-Crowfoot. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is trying to get back into the House of Commons. Tyler Barrow joins us live from Camrose. So, Tyler, what have people there been saying?
Ian, polls open today at 8:30, and people we have spoken with agree Pierre Poilievre is most likely to win. Some are excited about the Conservative leader representing the area. Others aren't so sure. Now, the riding is considered safe by the Conservative Party, as former MP Damien Couric, who stepped aside for Poilievre to run, won with 83% of the vote in April. Poilievre is one of 214 candidates on the ballot, which is record-breaking. The majority are with the longest ballot committee, a protest group calling for electoral reform. Because of the large number of candidates, for the first time ever, voters are writing out the name of their preferred candidate. Voters here have mixed opinions on having the Conservative leader represent them if he wins.
He's not going to care what's going on in the constituency. He's more concerned about his own rear end being in Parliament.
He was born in Alberta, so anyways, I hope he does good for Alberta.
He's a good leader, honestly.
If he does really well here, he probably will keep it. If he doesn't do as well, because it's such a strong Conservative base here, then they might be looking at a leadership review.
Now, polls close tonight at 8:30. Elections Canada has started counting ballots from the advanced polls already to ensure results are available as early as possible.
Tyler, thank you. Alberta Health Services has lifted the closure order at the Saskatoon Berry Farm south of Calgary. It was implemented on July 23rd after dozens of people who dined at the facility became ill. As of Thursday, there were 107 probable cases of E. coli. In a Facebook post, the Saskatoon Farm said the bakery opens Saturday, the restaurant opens today, and the Red House later this week. They are still required to use bagged ice, and all water used for cooking, baking, hand washing, and any prep work is from a potable water source that has been approved by AHS. Danielle is here now with a first look at the weather. I thought that was a really nice weekend, and for the most part, it carried on today.
Yeah, you're right. And the cloud cover that we had was actually, depending on what you were doing, actually kind of nice. I was at Callaway Park earlier today, so it wasn't too hot. We had a little bit of a breeze as well, and temperatures are where they should be pretty much anyway. So overall, it's a nice quiet day today. The clouds are breaking up here and there, so there's sunny breaks at times. 21 degrees is the temperature at the airport. All right, your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Fifth Avenue Volkswagen, where you can win your ride. See dealer for details or visit fifthvw.com. And for the evening, it's quiet, just cloudy periods at times. It should be pretty quiet tomorrow. The wind should be relatively calm. We'll get some sunshine, some cloudy periods, but it should be a little warmer tomorrow with a high of 27 compared to our 22 today. More details coming up, Ian.
Thank you, Danielle. An Edmonton homeowner believes a hot air balloon may have hit her house early this morning. Eliza Lyon says the loud noises woke her up. A short time later, she came across this post in a neighborhood group chat. She was surprised to see a photo of a hot air balloon that appears to be touching the roof of her house.
I was like, did it wreck the roof? It was just like unbelievable. I'm like, how can that balloon go so low?
And we noticed that the basket was spinning 360, and I thought that was super weird. And then when I got home, they had come over and approached me and asked me if I'd seen a balloon had bumped their roof.
The company tells CTV News its hot air balloon did not land on or contact any homes when coming in for a landing. They also say photos can be deceiving. While a balloon appears to be touching something, they say it's not. Whether it's Calgary, Toronto, or locations around the world, many Air Canada passengers are stranded. And striking flight attendants aren't giving them much hope. Just ahead, where the dispute stands after Ottawa's back-to-work order. And the Made in Calgary system to help non-verbal people express themselves. And if you haven't used it, text us at 10400. Air Canada flight attendants continue to defy a federal back-to-work order as flights remain grounded, stranding tens of thousands of passengers. Tyson Fedor is live at the airport, and Tyson, passengers are left in limbo as this labor dispute drags on.
Ian, many of them that I've spoken with over the last 3 days since this strike began on Saturday say frustration is the nicest way that they can tell people how they're actually feeling. Of course, this is one of the busiest times of year to travel, with flights being canceled and many missing work, and just trying to get home. Those other flights that they're being rebooked on other airlines are taking several days to come around. Now, flight attendants remained on the picket line here at Calgary International Airport on Monday, as union leaders say they will not urge their workers back to work despite Ottawa demanding they do so. Passengers were flustered as they spoke with Air Canada staff here. Airline analysts say that this strike could cost the airline $200 million, even if the action ends later this week. At issue, wages and unpaid work. Air Canada says it has offered flight attendants a 17.2% wage increase over 4 years, but the union says that does not account for inflation. An air passenger rights advocate says passengers should wait first until Air Canada cancels their flight, asking the airline to then book them with a competitor. If they do not, you should look to find alternative travel plans, but with a caveat.
If you can find a flight by yourself on which you can rebook yourself, buy the ticket, even if it's expensive. Do not take a refund from Air Canada under any circumstance, and then send Air Canada a bill for the new flight. The reason that I urge passengers not to take a refund is because Air Canada could use it against the passenger to say, well, they took a refund, so we no longer owe them alternate transportation.
Gabriel Lucas, who you just heard from there, says if you're trying to return back to Canada from the European Union, Air Canada will have to pay for your meals, your accommodation, along with the alternate route coming home on another airline. They're also required to pay you up to €600. Now, if you're flying from the UK, it's about £520, or equivalent, Ian, to about $970.
Tyson, thanks very much. As thousands of kids prepare to go back to school in just a couple of weeks, one local group is helping some students get a head start. The Owen Hart Foundation was at St. Martha's School earlier today, handing out about 900 backpacks full of school gear, from pencils and notebooks to rulers and crayons. The foundation hopes this is a head start for families as they get ready for a new school year.
It's so important that kids have the right tools to get back to school, to catapult them into a successful year. And of course, it's really nice that the Owen Hart Foundation could partner with the Calgary Police Youth Foundation and bring the community together.
The Owen Hart Foundation will be giving out over 2,000 backpacks ahead of the school year. Lots of excitement as the kids anticipate school coming back. Always a very exciting time of year.
I always got so excited. Yeah.
But in terms of the weather right now, not that exciting because really there's not a lot going on.
Yeah. I mean, I typically like when it's exciting because I love to talk about weather, but this is one of those weeks where on Wednesday we may see a few showers. I'm talking Calgary specifically here. We may see a couple things on Wednesday in the afternoon, but outside of that, it's a quiet, dry, warm, and in some cases, hot week. Okay, for southern Alberta, the further southeast you go, you're getting into those hotter temperatures. So Brooks in the 30s, Medicine Hat 32, 29 in Milk River, and Lethbridge. Winds are relatively calm for today. It's a beautiful summer day out there. We do have some cloud cover. I'll show you the radar and show you what's going on. Basically, what's happening is the mountains are eating up all the moisture from this. So we do have some cloud cover that's making its way over, but that's pretty much it. Small chance of showers in the far southwest corner as we go through these next couple of hours, but overall it should be pretty quiet. All of that main activity is getting redirected up and around us thanks to a ridge of high pressure that's building in, and we have high pressure building in here. So that's keeping things stable, which is quite nice. So different story, of course, further to the north. Rocky Mountain House area, and just to the north of that, severe thunderstorm warning in place in the orange, as you can see there, and really from Rocky Mountain House over through Wetaskiwin and then over to Provost is where they have the severe thunderstorm watch in place because larger size hail, stronger wind gusts certainly possible with some of these cells. But further to the south, it's quiet. We're dominated by high pressure and will continue to be. The thing is this weather pattern will shift a bit for Wednesday. So for tomorrow, it's a pretty quiet one. We'll see some cloudy periods at times like today, but we should see more sunshine sunshine in the city as compared to today. Then when we get into Wednesday, by the afternoon hours, basically after 2 in the afternoon on Wednesday in Calgary, along the QE2, down Highway 2 and off to the west, we do have the potential for shower activity. Most likely in this case, by the time it reaches here, it's just showers. But then as it tracks off to the east towards Brooks and off to the east, Hannah, Oy, and Coronation, it could result in some thunderstorm activity. That's late day Wednesday. All right, looking at that longer range forecast, 27 degrees for tomorrow. So it should be a hot one tomorrow compared to our 22 that we have today. There will be a good amount of sunshine, but also some cloudy periods out there as well. By Wednesday, again, in 2 in the afternoon, we have the potential for some shower activity and just a high of 19. So be prepared for a cooler day on Wednesday if you have outdoor plans. By Thursday, we're getting up to 22. We'll hold on to 22 to Friday as well, but let me just give you an indication of what you're looking at for the weekend, because by the weekend, it looks like a hot trend will start to build in. So by Saturday in those mid-20s, by Sunday in those higher 20s, and it looks like we're going to hold on to that heat as we head through next week. So next week will certainly be a hot one.
A professor at the University of Calgary and his team are designing a way to give nonverbal people a voice. Dee Walker Krishnamurthy is a professor at the Schulich School of Engineering. His teenage son is on the autism spectrum. With virtual reality goggles, he's designed a system where nonverbal people can type out words which are then read out loud. The technique helps them with their motor skills, and there's even a virtual therapist who can coach them while they're wearing the headset.
We've done all the foundational research and shown that these technologies can be effective in promoting independence, and getting open-ended thoughts from them. Now the question is, how do we reach it to families? Because they are in need of this technology yesterday.
Krishnamurthy says the team is looking at securing government funding to make the VR goggle system available to everyone who needs it. He was a pioneer in many ways. Just ahead, an archaeological dig uncovers more clues about 19th century rancher John Ware. The Air Canada flight attendant strike is having quite an impact, and not just on stranded passengers. Joining me is Robert Geary, investment advisor with the Popwich-Carmally Advisory Group. And Robert, how did the markets close out the day?
Yeah, it was a pretty muted day in the markets today on both sides of the border, and this is more of a wait-and-see week. It was a slow news day on that side. We're getting inflation numbers in Canada tomorrow morning, and we're getting retail sales starting tomorrow morning with Home Depot. So I think the market was kind of just saying, hey, this is a wait-and-see approach to what's happening for the rest of the week. Other big news to watch later is Jerome Powell is going to be talking his last time at the U.S. Fed Symposium in Jackson in Wyoming, so we'll have to wait and see it. That's later in the week, so it's a wait-and-see trade today. And how is Air Canada's stock reacting to the strike? Yeah, this is an interesting one. I was waiting to see how it opened. It opened down over 3%. It closed close to that here today. And now there's more than just the strike happening with the stock today, because they cut their forward guidance for the rest of the year, citing that they kind of can't have a fresh look on what's happening at all with this impending strike. So normally when that happens to a company and a stock, the lack of clarity to the investors' side is saying, hey, we don't want to be in this. Let's just, dump the stock and wait and see. So that's why it was down 3%. The other fact is that, the way that this is looking, this could go on longer than expected. So the continuity of earnings is in question as well. All right. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. The Alberta government is looking at installing solar panels at 5 correctional facilities in the province. The infrastructure ministry says solar power could save taxpayers $1 million a year. A procurement document published by the province says the budget is anywhere from $10 to $50 million. The province plans to start accepting bids to build the solar arrays later this year or in early 2026.
One person has been shot in an incident involving Calgary police. Here's Tara Nelson with a look ahead to CTV News at 6.
Hi, Ian. Police say they were responding to a domestic incident. The shooting happened at a busy intersection in the southeast Calgary community of Yorkville after an incident on a city bus. We'll have more details just ahead. Also ahead, the Central Alberta riding of Battle River-Crowfoot is deciding Pierre Poilievre's electoral fate tonight. It's unlikely he will lose, but will he get the strong mandate he's looking for? And if not, what then? That's all ahead at 6. Ian.
Thank you, Tara. An archaeologist at the University of Calgary is digging up more insight into the life of John Ware and his family. Lindsay Amundsen-Myers spent 3 weeks this summer digging through the site of Ware's homestead in southern Alberta. Ware was black and born into slavery in the southern U.S., but moved to Alberta and began ranching here in the late 1800s. Nails, bullets, an ink bottle, a thimble, and other items discovered at the site are consistent with that era.
Everything we're finding sort of in that layer with the square nails, with the floorboards in the midden area, it's all pointing to that time period of the 1890s, right? Which is perfect for us. Perfect for us. That's when the Wares were here.
All of the items found at the site will be stored at the Royal Alberta Museum in Edmonton. After a pleasant weekend, the chance of showers is coming back by about midweek or so. Right now in Calgary, it's a beautiful 24 degrees. Danielle has details coming up. You know, sometimes in Calgary, by about mid-August this time, the weather can start to turn a little bit. You can get some surprising moments.
You can.
But we're not getting that yet. We're just kind of plowing through with wonderful summer weather.
Right, and we're still in storm season, but keep in mind we're not in peak storm season anymore. And we're looking at a fairly quiet week, aside from Wednesday in Calgary. Pretty quiet. Temperature is pretty warm. I mean, 24 degrees is the current temperature. We just bumped up to that, so that's why it says today's high. So now today's high is also 24 degrees. We're a little above normal. We had a good amount of cloud cover today with some sunny breaks, and we'll reverse that for tomorrow. We'll have some sunshine with some cloudy periods tomorrow. A high of 27. Wednesday in the afternoon, showers are possible, and just a high of 19.
Thanks, Danielle. Cavalry FC won a thriller of a soccer match at Spruce Meadows last night.
Moosey, near side, miss hit. Attack still on, headed up inside. Klopp's there. Irving can't get to it in time. Dan Klopp, the header. Unbelievable. What is happening here in Calgary?
Dan Klopp scored the winner in a 5-4 victory over Vancouver FC with seconds left in the game. It was a storybook ending for Klopp, who just rejoined the team after leaving last year to join a club in Belgium. Cavalry travels to Ottawa on Saturday.
Evan Gilliard and the Surge head down the Vancouver Bandits in the most dramatic of fashions.
And the Calgary Surge advanced to the Western Conference Final after a 105-103 victory over the Vancouver Bandits on Saturday. The Surge play the Winnipeg Sea Bears on Friday night. The winner advances to the CEBL Final against the winner of the Eastern matchup between the Scarborough Shooting Stars and the defending champions, the Niagara River Lions. Best of luck to them. Thank you for joining us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.